While you are stuck in traffic wondering how to make it to Friday, someone with your citizenship and rights is drinking coffee with an ocean view right now. No visas, no language barrier, and no winter. We are accustomed to thinking that moving to paradise is complicated, expensive, and scary. But the truth is, the United States is much bigger than the 50 states on the mainland. Today, I will show you territories where United States laws protect you, but state taxes do not rob you. Ready to find out where your freedom costs less but looks more expensive? But before you pack your suitcase and escape to the tropics, hit the like button on this video as if you are crushing your boss's productivity expectations. Support the channel, or I will send you to Guam without sunglasses. Number 5 is Guam, a tropical future where the United States has almost forgotten it exists. It is a United States territory, like Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands, only in the Pacific Ocean. It hangs somewhere between Hawaii and the Philippines, which means it is practically on the opposite side of the planet from all your deadlines. It is literally already tomorrow there. By moving to Guam, you will live in the future. You will be sending messages to friends while they are still brushing their teeth in yesterday. This is an existential advantage we still underestimate. Yes, Guam is America. Yes, you can move there. No, you do not need a passport. Yes, the currency is the dollar. No, it is not Japan. Living on Guam is like settling down inside a well-guarded government secret. You have the rights of a United States citizen. Well, most of them. You can receive social benefits, file tax returns, and order delivery from Costco like a true patriot. And the military presence here is so powerful that, waking up to the roar of fighter jets, you might think you accidentally enlisted in the army in your sleep. Beaches, jungles, and sunsets that make you forget about your credit score. The people are warm, generous, and eternally surprised that mainlanders act as if they just discovered Atlantis. But let us not pretend it is a flawless paradise. Guam is beautiful, but it is hot. Very hot. The humidity is so high that even your knees sweat. And then there are typhoons. I guess paradise needs final boss battles, like in a video game. Level cleared, you survived August. Next stage, a Category 4 typhoon. Good luck finding your favorite almond milk. Goods are shipped from afar, so supermarkets sometimes resemble a post-apocalyptic lottery. The winners take home toilet paper and the right brand of detergent. If you are a picky eater, Guam will teach you Zen, or you will learn to make pesto out of weeds and positive vibrations. The roads are paved. The Wi-Fi is brave. It exists, but the word brave is key here. It is fighting with all its might against difficult circumstances. The service is soulful but leisurely. That is a polite way of saying, if you are expecting Starbucks speed, get ready for lessons in patience you never dreamed of. Consider it character leveling. Arrived with overachiever syndrome? Don't worry. In a month it will pass, giving way to flip-flops and the maybe later philosophy. Now for the main thing, freedom. Guam is free in a special way. It is hard to explain until you live here. People just leave you alone. The local rhythm seems to whisper, do what you want, just don't bug anyone else. Want a business? Go ahead. Want an off-grid house with solar panels and a dog named Captain Coconut? No one will stop you. Want to disappear into the jungle and return with nothing but a machete and deep enlightenment? Technically, that is not encouraged, but it is possible. Taxes are federal, but with no state income tax, because Guam is not a state. It is sort of a legal gray area. You pay, but your voice is not always heard. It reminds you of a long-distance relationship where your partner only texts you when it is convenient for them. It works, but it is weird. Here is the thing. Most Americans do not choose Guam consciously. They are either sent here to serve, transferred for work, or end up here after an existential crisis accompanied by too much tequila. But those who stay find something important here. Peace, quiet, and a whimsical mix of freedom and oblivion. It is one of the last places where you can live outside the system without leaving the country. It is far away. It is strange. It is hot here, as if hell opened a beach branch. And reigning here is that beautifully chaotic spirit of freedom inherent only to a piece of American land in the middle of the boundless ocean. Number 4 is Puerto Rico, a tax haven with moody infrastructure and a Caribbean soul. Puerto Rico is a territory that technically belongs to the United States, but at the same time, it does not. It is like that cousin who crashes the family party in Gucci sandals with his own speaker, insisting he is part of the family but is currently on a spiritual journey. And honestly, he is doing pretty well. Puerto Rico is United States territory. There are fantastic beaches here, tropical rainforests, historical cities, and enough street cats to stage a Disney musical about urban survival. You do not need a passport. You do not need to exchange currency. You will see Walgreens, KFC, and car insurance billboards right next to pastel colonial houses and people blasting salsa at full volume at 8 in the morning. They drink coffee so strong it could raise the dead and make them dance bachata. Speaking of coffee, you have not truly lived until you have tasted Puerto Rican coffee made by someone's auntie. She will never give you the recipe, but she will assure you it contains just a little bit of love and suffering. This drink is so good, you will wonder if you should quit your job to move here forever just to figure out why coffee on the mainland tastes like liquid disappointment. Puerto Rico is doing the splits, one foot in the American system, the other outside. Locals are United States citizens. They serve in the military, pay taxes, but cannot vote for the president. Imagine paying for a concert ticket, but not being able to request songs because you are technically standing in the parking lot. Legally present, politically invisible. Regarding taxes, Puerto Rico plays by rules that make accountants' eyes twitch. Residents do not pay federal income tax on income earned on the island. Read that again. No federal tax on local income. You can live by the beach, eat mofongo until your cholesterol waves a white flag, and enjoy a life where people actually talk to their neighbors instead of sending passive-aggressive messages in the building group chat. Music is always playing. Time is more of a concept than a rule. And life has a rhythm that the mainland forgot decades ago. But it is not all palm trees and piña coladas here. The infrastructure knows how to create drama. Power outages are a common occurrence, especially during hurricane season, which gets longer every year. The roads sometimes resemble a Mario Kart track designed by a driver hater, and the bureaucracy is held together by Scotch tape, good intentions, and women named Gladys at the municipality. Gladys knows everything, but she will make you wait because the system is down. That is a permanent state of being here. However, the sense of community here is unreal. People take care of each other. In a storm, they help out and share food without needing to be asked. This is a place where a neighbor will hand you a plate of rice and beans and then gently judge your life choices over a cup of coffee. It is honest. It is human. This is what freedom looks like in Puerto Rico. You can work remotely, live relatively cheaply, and stay under the American umbrella. Opening a business here is easier than elsewhere. You can live on a mountaintop, in a surf town, or in an old city with cobblestone streets and pigeons that hold clear political views. And most importantly, you will be living where people dance in the streets, roast whole pigs for Christmas, and celebrate life as if it were a sport, sweaty, loud, and delicious. So if you want to escape the mainland but keep your rights, your Amazon account, and the ability to explain your address without international shipping, your freedom awaits on an island where even the politics dances a little. Number 3 is American Samoa. This is a territory against which the rest seem like cosmopolitan metropolises. People come here to truly disappear from the map, to settle in paradise. American Samoa is the only United States territory south of the equator. That means you are not just far away, you are technically upside down. Scientifically questionable, but emotionally spot on. We are talking about 5 volcanic islands and 2 coral atolls peacefully drifting in the middle of the South Pacific. Here is where a bureaucratic twist kicks in that only the states could invent. Locals are U.S. nationals, but not full citizens. That means they can live and work in the States without a visa, receive government checks, and use most benefits. But if they want to vote in federal elections or, say, run for president, which, let's be honest, no one in their right mind wants to do, they have to apply for full citizenship. It is a legal limbo that makes immigration lawyers unsure whether to laugh or cry. But most locals do not care. They are too busy fishing, singing in the choir, or going to church for the 5th time this week. Yes, the 5th time. Religion here is not a Sunday hobby, it is a full-time commitment. But the place itself, my God, it is so magical that your Instagram feed will look like an emotional landfill. The mountains here look like they were designed by a designer trying to win a contest for the most dramatic landscape. Volcanic, sharp-peaked, covered in thick greenery, they reach for the sky as if escaping gravity. And the water is so clear you can see your reflection, your regrets, and probably that awkward conversation from 2011 that still keeps you up at night. The culture here is mixed on family and traditions. Arriving and not greeting people properly is a crime. Not legally, but socially, you are dead. People will look at you like you spat on their grandmother. Learn to say hello, learn the customs, or prepare to be that weird stranger everyone tolerates, but no one invites to the barbecue. The pace of life here isn't just slow, it is, we will do it when the choir finishes singing, when the pigs are fed, when the tide allows, and so on. Level. Do not come here for convenience. You are coming to escape every notification you have received in your adult life. There is one main road, one McDonald's that resembles a social experiment more than a restaurant, and one flight in and out. Most days, not every day. Missed the plane? Congratulations, you live here until further notice. The internet exists theoretically, like dark matter or your motivation to go to the gym. It is there somewhere, but impossible to prove consistently. Amazon Prime? 2-day delivery is a fever dream. Expect 2 weeks if you are lucky. And that is if the ship captain does not detour to Fiji because he craved curry. But what you lose in speed, you gain in freedom. It is so pure here you start thinking, why did you even need 5 types of lattes anyway? No one cares what car you have. No one judges your clothes. Want to wear a lava, a traditional skirt, and sandals? It is not just normal, it is recommended. Kids still play outside, not on iPads. Neighbors say hello just because, not because they need something. Life is simple, real, and that is the whole point. You need a break from civilization, where the elderly are respected more than influencers, and success is measured by the number of relatives at a barbecue, not followers. Catch the vibe? Want to hide from the tax man? Okay, don't do that, but theoretically, you could. Taxes are managed locally, which sounds like freedom until you realize this system is simultaneously simpler and more confusing than anything in the world. It is like someone read the United States tax code, gave up halfway through, and decided that the phrase, "just make it okay," was enough for instructions. But you do not move to American Samoa for aggressive financial planning. You come here to wake up with the roosters, nap after lunch without judgment, and measure time in coconuts. This place is not for everyone. It is quiet, remote, and sometimes things just do not work. The internet, the supply ship, your hopes for punctuality. But if your dream is to live where mountains are high, people are genuinely kind, and the concept of urgency has been humanely retired and buried with honors. Welcome. This is the last place in America where no one is trying to sell you anything. Except, maybe, fish. Lots of fish. Number 2 is the Northern Mariana Islands, the quiet genius living as a hermit in paradise. We have reached the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, also known as the CNMI, also known as, wait, is this even America? If American territories were a family, Puerto Rico would be that extrovert throwing legendary parties. Guam would be the stern military guy who never leaves the gym. And the Northern Marianas is the quiet genius who escaped to a remote paradise and did not give anyone their address. Because honestly, he just wants to be left alone. Let us start with the basics. Yes, this is part of the United States. You do not need a passport. The CNMI consists of 14 islands, although life bustles, as much as it can bustle, only on Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. The rest just drift in the Pacific, probably enjoying the silence and wondering why humans make everything so complicated. Saipan is the largest and most developed, although that is a relative term when your competitors are uninhabited rocks. Tinian is the sleepiest. Here, the main events of the day include a rooster crowing and the news that someone caught a big fish. And Rota is an island that makes you doubt the reality of the rest of the world. Perhaps everything before this was just a fever dream caused by corporate burnout. Now, before you dream too hard, let us talk about the Wi-Fi. It is sort of here. On a lucky day, you might even check your email. On a bad day, a carrier pigeon with a note on its leg would be faster and more reliable. So if you plan to live off-grid but manage a startup from a hammock, adjust your expectations or stock up on a very long Ethernet cable, preferably one that reaches Guam. But here is the most interesting part. There is a special energy of freedom here. Not that showy kind where people scream about independence in a Walmart line with a bunch of junk in their hands. No, this is a quiet, beautiful freedom. No traffic jams, no rushing. You can live simply, sleep with the windows open, and wake up to the sounds of real nature. And no, your upstairs neighbor dancing Zumba at 6 in the morning with the grace of an elephant on ice skates does not count as nature sounds. The landscape is so ridiculously ideal that you start to suspect someone is directing a complex Truman Show-style script specifically for you. Mountains, cliffs, coral reefs, historical ruins from the Second World War, and beaches so absurdly perfect it hurts to look at them. Admission is free, parking is free. All of this is just waiting for you. Culturally, it is a potent mix of Chamorro and Carolinian traditions with dashes of Japan, the Philippines, and the United States. It is as if a history textbook and a travel blog had a baby that grew up speaking 3 languages and knowing how to cook chicken 6 different ways. You will go to a party, taste that chicken in all its variations, and then see a mural about the Battle of Saipan right next to an ice cream stand. It is weird. It is beautiful. And it works. Now about money. Is it cheap? Not exactly. Expensive? Not really either. It is that strange golden mean, where rent might be pennies, but a jar of peanut butter costs more than your dignity, and sometimes your soul. Everything is shipped from afar, and the ship is often in no hurry because, well, we are on island time. You will learn to live with what is available, which, honestly, is the secret to happiness. And taxes? Oh, here is where it gets interesting. Do you still pay United States federal taxes? Yes, but not directly to the IRS. You pay them to the CNMI government, which then transfers the funds to the state's treasury. It is a strange, bureaucratic love triangle that somehow miraculously functions. The upside: people who know how to game the system come here for serious tax breaks. You, however, can come because no one will ask why you have not worn shoes in a week, and no one will judge you for it. So who lives here? Locals who have always been here and have no intention of leaving. Mainlanders who came to visit, forgot to return, and now run a beach bar. And those happy souls who woke up one morning thinking, what if I stop pretending I like the cold, Zoom meetings, and validation on LinkedIn? The Northern Marianas are not for everyone. But if you value silence more than noise, nature more than asphalt, and peace of mind more than a corporate salary with benefits you never use, this place is waiting for you. And before you finally dive into dreams of moving to an island where the biggest problem will be the delay of the ship carrying your favorite coffee. Number 1 is the United States Virgin Islands, a tax haven with character and power outages. This is the ideal American escape that everyone keeps quiet about, unless they are on a cruise or hiding from alimony payments. There are 3 main islands here: St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, plus a bonus one, Water Island. That name sounds like someone got tired of coming up with names. What is there? Water? Great. Water Island. Next. Legally, it is America, but spiritually, it is an eternal vacation. You live here as a United States citizen, no passport, no visas, no Kafka-esque bureaucracy, or the need to explain your life decisions to a customs officer with a rubber stamp and judgmental eyebrows. St. John is one solid national park, trails, and wild beaches. People here say phrases like, "just breathe." The Wi-Fi is weak, but the connection with nature is at the max. That is a poetic way of saying, forget about Netflix, but be prepared to meet someone who brews their own kombucha and has very strong opinions about coconuts. St. Thomas is the party animal. Shopping, cruise ship ports, and enough frozen cocktails to fuel a full-blown midlife crisis. Tourists fill this place like an amusement park that never closes, and the locals have perfectly mastered the art of ignoring them while guiltlessly charging them tourist prices. Next is St. Croix, bigger, calmer, a little quirky. There is history here, art, and that relaxed atmosphere. Living here is island vibes with American insurance. The mail arrives, dollars circulate, the iPhone works. Well, as long as there is power. And it goes out often, so locals just shrug and pour themselves a drink. A blackout here is not an emergency, but a hint that it is time for a nap. Think a tropical paradise is cheap? Forget it. Everything is imported. Groceries are more expensive. Gas is more expensive. For avocado toast, you might have to take out a loan or offer a barter involving mangoes and questionable services. But if you swap supermarkets for roadside stands and local fish, you will survive happily. By the way, after the fish here, everything packaged on the mainland will taste like frozen regret. And then there is island time. That is a polite way of saying that nothing happens on time. Repairs will start at 11:45, or on Thursday, if the handyman remembers. If you go crazy over a 5-minute delay, this place will either break you or heal you. Now for the grand prize, no state income tax. Let that thought sink in like lotion into your sunburned skin. No state tax. You still pay federal tax because the government has a better memory than your ex, but more money stays in your pocket. Maybe you will spend it on rum, but that is your business. The Virgin Islands are not for everyone. You have to come to terms with the humidity, mosquitoes, and the chaos that infrastructure smooths over on the mainland. But in return, you get freedom you cannot buy in a metropolis. No snow, no traffic jams, no pretending you care about quarterly reports. Just the ocean, the sun, and enough rum to forget your previous zip code. And the best part, you did not even have to flee the country.